Welcome to another program, the Veterans of the Cedar Valley. My name is Sid Morris, and my guest today is Kevin Dill. And welcome to the program, Kevin.
Thanks, Sid.
Glad you're here.
Thanks. Me too.
You are the newly appointed Executive Director of the Veterans of Cedar Valley.
Yes.
And can we start out by you telling us a little bit about your background and how you came to be a part of the Black Hawk County Veterans Affairs?
Yeah, I mean, how far do you want to go back? All the way back to my childhood?
No.
Well, I grew up in Evansdale, Waterloo. Went to, graduated from Waterloo East High School. And then after Waterloo East, I joined the military and got to live all over the world. I lived in Russia. I lived in the Middle East, Central America. I worked in diplomatic security. I was assigned to the Marine Security Guard Battalion, and we guarded the embassies around the world. And then I also had the privilege of being assigned to Secret Service detail for George Bush at the time, who was vice president at the time. So I spent some time with him, and then I had the privilege of being assigned to the FBI with Attorney General Ed Meese. We were in Vienna together for a while, and when I was in Vienna and I met the Attorney General of the United States, the FBI guys played a little joke on me and said, why don't we all go up to the room and we'll meet the Attorney General, and they said, why don't you have a seat, and they sat me on his bed, and I didn't know it at the time, and so the Attorney General of the United States walks in and he looks right at me and says, what are you doing on my bed? And everybody got a laugh out of it. So, and then during that time I was at the embassy in Moscow, back when Gorbachev was in power. And after I left that, I was sent to the Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California, where I learned Arabic. And not quite fluent, but got pretty close to being fluent in Arabic, Iraqi, and I was an Arabic linguist. And then after I left Walter Reed Hospital, I became a police officer, and was a police officer down in Texas for a few years. And then my wife and I wanted to come home here to the Cedar Valley, so I transferred up here to Waterloo PD, and I worked Waterloo police officer for a while, and then my wife is a regional manager for the Dillard stores here in the Midwest, and she has about 20 stores assigned to her, and so we ended up in the Quad Cities for a while, where I took a job as the Director of Veterans Affairs for Scott County. And then I ended up back in the Middle East as a civilian, helping out with Operation Iraqi and Enduring Freedom. Then when I got back, we ended up in St. Louis, and I spent a little time overseeing the water, the drinking and wastewater in the state of Missouri with American Water. I was in charge of the security of it all. And then I went to work for the VA. I was assigned to the VA's law enforcement. I was a federal police officer, and I wanted to get my master's, which the VA was paying for, so I transferred within the VA to the regional office, where I adjudicated veterans' claims. And then we came home, and I was assigned back into VA law enforcement as a federal police officer in Iowa City, and then spent some time also working with local attorneys with their cases because of my background in criminal law. And then I had heard that the Director of Veterans Affairs here in Waterloo was retiring, and so with my background with Veterans Affairs and working in Scott County and then in St. Louis at the regional office, I know quite a bit about the programs that are available. And being a disabled veteran myself, I applied for the position, and about a month ago, the commissioners appointed me, and here we are.
That's great. Well, that's great. You've certainly had a wealth of experience in dealing with veterans affairs and veterans activities and needs.
I've been through training on claims processing and adjudicating claims, and I've had this experience before in a different part of Iowa, so yes, sir. Yep.
Well, that's great. Well, we're glad you're back home.
Yeah, we are too. We always kept our home in Waterloo
Right.
for the years that we were gone, and we came back to our home in Waterloo. And then because of my disability, the property was just getting too tough for me. So we sold the house, and now we live in Cedar Falls.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's move on to you've been here a month,
yes, sir.
and let's talk about our Black Hawk County VA and
Okay.
what are some of the things that you feel is necessary right now to get involved with, and so on and so forth.
Well, you know, when I came home from Washington, D.C., when I got out, my wife and I ended up in Oklahoma first before we ended up in Texas as a police officer, and I didn't know anything about my benefits. At the time, I was getting my military retirement from being medically retired after we left Walter Reed, and I didn't know anything. I didn't know that I could apply for compensation with the VA or any of the benefits or be part of VA healthcare. And it wasn't until years later that a local doctor here in Waterloo, who I was seeing, had mentioned to me, isn't this part of your time in the military? And I said, yes, that's what they say. And
Right.
he said, have you applied for compensation with the VA? And I didn't know what he was talking about. And he happened to be, spent some time in the VA. So he helped me get started. And so when I took over as the director of Black Hawk County Veterans Affairs, I went in with that same mindset. You know, how many of our veterans here in Black Hawk County are walking around that they don't know what's out there for them. So our initial goal here is to do all we can to reach every veteran and every surviving spouse of a veteran and let them know about the benefits that are out there, that they may or may not be qualified for it, but at least they know.
Right.
And they can make the decision, you know, I need to look into that. But so that's what we're going to try and do over this first year is do as much outreach programs that we can to reach every veteran, every surviving spouse of a veteran, dependent of a veteran, just to let them know what's out there and how do they qualify for it.
I think that's really important. I served 2 terms on your board.
Right.
And that is one of the things that I felt we needed to work on, is to let the veterans know what's available for them and the eligibility aspects of your programs.
When you talk about eligibility, you know, there's a lot to that. You know, if you're a veteran, if you've served in the military, in some type of active duty role,
right?
You know, other than training,
right?
And there's even more to it than that. But if you're an honorably discharged veteran, if you were discharged under honorable conditions, and you served in whether wartime or peacetime, it doesn't matter. You know, then you should come down to our office and seek what benefits are out there for you. And you know, I want to add that even if you're a dishonorably discharged veteran, you can still come down to the office, and I can help that person file a packet to have their discharge looked at, to maybe upgraded to receive some of the services. So even if you're a dishonorably discharged veteran, don't hesitate to come down. Let's take a look at what happened. We can write a letter and fill out an application to look at your discharge being upgraded. So don't feel like you're also disqualified because you're not. I mean, there's a number of benefits that you're not eligible for, but you may be if we can get your discharge upgraded. But yeah, so if you've served in the Marine Corps, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, if you were in the National Guard or Reserves and you were called to active service and you received an honorable discharge or a discharge under honorable conditions, whether you served one day, there may be something for you.
Right.
But under the Iowa Code, you're eligible to come down and let's see what we can do for you.
Right. And all veterans should feel that they have access to your program. Even they may not qualify for one program,
Yes,
they
but
may
they may
qualify for another.
Exactly. Every veteran, and not just every veteran, but every spouse of a veteran should make contact with our office. Either come down to 1407 Independence in Waterloo, or in the old Pinecrest building, the old St. Francis, I think. We're right there at Independence in Idaho, across from the old McKinstry School. Come down there. We're there from 8 to 4:30. If you can't get down there at 4:30, you call and let me know, and I'll stay until you can get there. If you can't get to the office, well, then just tell me where you live, and I'll come to your house. But I don't want any veteran or spouse of a veteran, surviving spouse of a veteran, to not be aware of what may be out there for them. So.
And of course, we only have a minute left in this segment, so when we come back, I would like to expand a little bit on that because there are state programs, federal programs, and
Yes, sir.
that's available, and you can help the veteran. You could provide them information how they access those other services that are available.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is a lot of veterans, they try to maneuver through the process, and they get lost in the process and they give up. And that's what we're for. I don't want you to, I will guide you through the process. So don't, if you've come down before and you just weren't, you've been given some information and you just kind of discarded it because you got lost in the process, come back down. I'll guide you through the process of how to apply for your benefits.
Right. Well, we have just a minute left in this segment, but when we come back, let's expand on that and how veterans. The thing I run into, I'm a part of all 4 veterans organizations in the county, and that's one of the issues that I hear most is how do I contact the federal program, the state program, you know, the county program, and that's something that I feel it really needs to be worked on. So we'll be right back after this word.
Okay.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
From the world wars to Korea, Vietnam, to the Persian Gulf, Afghanistan, and Iraq, they saw what few others ever saw. But many veterans don't talk about their experiences. It may be because you've never asked. Learn what you can't always find in the history books. Interview a U.S. veteran in your community and submit their audio or video interview to the Library of Congress Veterans History Project. Or share their stories by contributing their original photos, letters, or military documents. Participate so that future generations may hear directly from those who served and better understand the realities of war. Download a field kit from our website and find out how you can play a role in preserving history.
We all know that the Cedar Valley is a great place to live and work. And there are many individuals and organizations that are doing their part to improve the quality of life for everyone that calls this their home. On Serving the Valley, we sit down with these service organizations to learn more about different projects and events that need your support. We all need to do our part to help out our community. Tune into Serving the Valley to learn more.
Welcome to Understood.org, a free online resource for parents of kids with learning and attention issues, with personalized recommendations, tools, and daily access to experts to help your child thrive. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Welcome back to our program today, the Veterans of Cedar Valley. Our guest again is Kevin Dill, the Executive Director of Blackhawk County's Veterans Affairs. In our previous segment, we were discussing services available to veterans, and I'd like to expand on the other services that are available and how veterans can access them.
Sure.
It's been my experience that that's sometimes difficult for veterans to find whether they're eligible and what is available and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And you can be kind of a sorting or
Right.
informational center for veterans.
Well, I think I should start out by letting every veteran and spouse of veteran in the Cedar Valley know that when you come into our office, everything is strictly confidential.
Right.
We're bound by that. A lot like attorney, medical office, it's completely confidential.
Right.
So when you come speak to me, we're bound by that. So feel comfortable when you come down. But there are, when you come into my office, you'll see 2 manuals, and each manual is probably this thick of all the different types of programs. So it's more intricate than just simply this is a program. There's more to it. So that's why sometimes veterans get lost in the process. But we have, there's federal programs, state programs, county programs. And when you come down, we'll take a look at your status and find out which programs in federal, state, and county that you may fit into.
Yeah.
The federal programs can be from anything that happened to you while you were in service, if you were injured, or if something aggravated an injury that you had. If you've gotten to the point where, as you've gotten older in life and you're relying on Social Security, there's a pension program to help you with your finances. That's out there. There's the surviving spouse pension for those spouses whose loved one has passed on, to help them with their finances. Those are federal type programs. There's state programs with a hunting and fishing license.
Right.
If you want to, on your driver's license, if you would like veteran put on your driver's license, we can help with that. There's a Veterans Trust Fund, in the state of Iowa, which
Right.
is something that we kind of have, but the state also has. If services around the county can't provide you a service and maybe we don't have the funding, I can help you with the application for the Veterans Trust Fund that may help with that. We had someone come in the office who I'm helping them to get their motorized wheelchair upgraded and fixed.
Right.
And so we're going to seek those funds from the Veterans Trust Fund because it's costly.
Right.
And then we also have the county programs, which is more for a needs program. If you're a veteran or the surviving spouse of a veteran and you're having trouble making your house payment, your rental payment, you're having trouble making your electric bill, if you don't if you don't have enough food in the house and you need some food, if you need gas in your car, we have those services available. It's a needs-based program. If it's in our budget, if we haven't overspent that budget, it's there for you.
Right.
But we provide up to $550 towards your rent or mortgage. We have $50 food vouchers to a grocery store. We have $50 and $25 gas cards to Quick Start to help you with gas. So if you're having trouble,
Right.
you can come see us and we'll look at a county program, and at the same time, we'll see if there's any federal benefits that you qualify for that are tax-free dollars from the federal government for many times for the rest of your life.
Right. One of the things that I run into, and I imagine because of my age, but is hearing aids.
Sure.
You know, a lot of us suffer hearing issues that, especially, you know, in my experience in Korea, we had a lot of explosions and damage that didn't occur until later in life.
Sure,
and that's a real issue for veterans in our area.
That's a big issue. You know, many of us, like you and I probably, we suffer from tinnitus.
Right.
The constant ringing in your ears, which can lead to hearing loss. Here in Blackhawk County, or really over the state of Iowa, if you're a veteran and you're enrolled in VA healthcare, you can see your primary care physician at the local Waterloo clinic, and your primary care physician can refer you to audiology at the VA hospital in Iowa City for hearing aids, and that's no cost to the veteran. If you are in need of hearing aids and you're not enrolled in VA healthcare, then you need to come see me so I can get you enrolled in VA healthcare. We'll get you an appointment at the local Waterloo clinic and talk to your primary care physician to have your hearing aids ordered. If you're already in VA healthcare and you're in need of hearing aids, just call the Waterloo local clinic, the VA clinic, schedule an appointment with your doctor, and have your doctor refer you to audiology to get some hearing aids. They're free, no cost to you, as long as your doctor says that you're in need of those. So, and if you need as you can see on the screen, if you need the phone number to the outpatient clinic, it's 235-1230, and you can schedule an appointment. If you have trouble with that, you can come to my office. I've scheduled quite a few veterans with appointments at the clinic for them to help them. Or you can call the VA hospital, the number there on the screen.
Well, I think that's really important because it's the most common question that I get, and in my veterans organizations.
It's
how
the same
do we
with
get
it's the same with glasses.
right?
If you're in need of glasses, you can, and you're in VA healthcare, you can schedule an appointment at the Waterloo Clinic and speak to your doctor, and if the doctor agrees that you're in need of glasses, she'll refer you to optometry at the VA hospital where you can receive a set of glasses. So yes, hearing aids, glasses, it's there for you. If you're in need of that, call me and we'll help you get them.
Right. And yeah, I think that'll be, that particular service has been just a little bit confusing for a lot of veterans.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm thinking of a couple of gentlemen that were in World War II that just recently have called me several times. What do I do, you know? And of course, I refer them to your office, and that's one of the things I think we need to continually emphasize, that
one thing
those are available.
One thing before we go today, I want to also stress is for our female veterans, there are services available, the same services that we all get, but there are also specific services available for women veterans. And I'm really trying to push that issue here in Blackhawk County. This past week, I received a call from a doctor at the VA clinic in Iowa City thanking me for really pushing our women's issues, and we've set up some care for some of our female veterans here in Blackhawk County that didn't know they qualified for it. So if you're a female veteran in Blackhawk County, I really want you to come see me. There are services available if you're in need of some service.
One of the other things I'd like to have you expand on a little bit, it's important that all veterans sign up with your office.
Yes, it's very important.
That is something that has been very difficult for veterans to...
We, here in Blackhawk County, we have, I don't know how new the numbers are, 11 to 13,000 veterans. The other day I had a gentleman on the federal side from Des Moines had told me that Blackhawk County has now jumped to number 4. We were number 5 of the most number of veterans in the state of Iowa. I haven't confirmed it, but he said we've moved to number 4. But we have nearly around 13,000 veterans, and
Right.
I mean, the percentage of veterans who have signed up in our office in Blackhawk County is very low, and I'm working to change that. So if you, right with you, Sid, if you're a veteran here in
Right.
Blackhawk County, or you're the surviving spouse of a veteran, I need you to call the office. I need you to come
Right,
see me.
right.
Get signed up with our office.
Well, and also that helps you in your budgeting,
Yes.
which is very important to your budgeting.
You know, Congress allocates money for the Department of Veterans Affairs.
Right.
If we can get more veterans to sign up, it really pushes Congress to allocate more money. We don't want Congress to take money away. We want them to give more money for veterans issues. So if you're a veteran here in Blackhawk County, please come sign up with me, come to our office, so we can let Congress know that there are a lot of veterans out there who are in need of service, and
Right.
we need you to push more money our way.
Right. You know, I've been involved for some years, and that's been one of the biggest problems. When I'm at coffee with a veteran, and I asked him, have you signed up? Have
Right.
you entered your name into the VA's
Right.
listing? No, I don't have any need for that now.
Well,
And, you know.
some of the younger veterans, I've told them, we were at Hawkeye Community College yesterday, and today we'll be at the University of Northern Iowa,
Right.
and I tell the younger veterans, I want you to think long term, not today. I want you to think long term,
Right.
because you're probably going to be needed some service
That's
sometime
right.
in your life. So let's get you in the system.
Okay. Well, our time has passed.
Okay.
We have about a minute left. I want to thank you for coming today.
Oh, thanks, Sid.
And we are planning to have you back,
Yes.
and we'll go into more detail
Yes.
on these services and how veterans access those services.
Yeah, we'll take a specific program and we'll dissect it and
Right.
really get the information out there.
Right. I think that's really important
Yes.
to our veterans. And
I
I
agree.
think your sign-up list is going to grow.
I hope so.
Anyway, thank you for being with us
Thanks, Sid.
today.
Appreciate
and
it.
looking forward to another program.
Yeah, Semper Fi.
Oh, good. Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
Yep.
We'll be back with another program next month on Veterans of Cedar Valley.